Miss Man. Good afternoon, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's actually quite cloudy and rainy here in Nevada today, but we still have some beautiful sun coming through the window, so I'm gonna take advantage. And I'm gonna go over my budget in my bed with coffee, some coffee cookies, and a Madeline. Cheers to Saturday. All right, I'm gonna get a blanket on me so that we can get started. Everything in my budget is already up to date. All of my transactions have been inputted. I do want to note today is March 30th. Not only am I breaking down my budget, but I'm going to be closing out my budget today as well. Overall, I am very proud of March. We do have a good amount of money left over for the month of March, and that makes me so happy because we're going to be able to add that money to our savings goals. So certain sinking funds that need more funds in them. Let's go ahead and first start with my transaction. Like I said, all of my transactions are up to date. They're good to go. I'm gonna refresh this. The last visit that I did was I went to Walmart. It was mainly groceries, and then I finished my taxes this month. So I'm so happy. So for groceries, a little over $100 on the 28th. And then the taxes, $14.99 for the federal filing, and then $57 was what I owed federally. I'm really bad about my taxes, and I'm always leaving it to the last minute, and then I freak out, and then I'm rushing to finish them. And this time I decided, nope, we're not gonna do that. We need to get our taxes done as soon as possible. I'm a little upset that I'm actually getting money back. And the reason why I say that I'm upset is because I really try my best every single year at the beginning of the year to sit down and figure out how can I break even. And I go ahead, and if I need to change certain things on my W-2, I will do it. But one thing that I forgot was that we moved. How could I forget that? That's such a big thing, right? So we moved from Hawaii to Nevada, and because of that, Hawaii owed me funds because I technically was not a resident anymore. We left in April, and in Hawaii, you have to be there for 200 days to be considered a resident of the state. We were there for way less than even 180 days, which is normally the requirement for all the other states in the mainland. And they owed me over $600. I guess it's nice that I'm gonna be getting some funds back, but I really would much rather get nothing back or owe very little. So in a perfect world, the 57 would have been it, and then I would be getting nothing back because throughout the year I've already gotten my $600 that Hawaii owes me, and then that money I could just put it towards investments and make it grow. So if anything, I'm getting money back that is worth less than what it would have been worth from the beginning of last year, January. Let's go over my amounts for the month of March. Left to spend, as you guys can see right now on the left to spend, I have $690 with 72 cents. That's actually quite accurate. We'll get the actual amount a little bit later when I pay off my credit cards today, because those are going to get paid today. For income, the budgeted amount was $8,633 with 20 cents, but the actual amount came out to be $8,785 with 65 cents. Bills and expenses. This is where I'm just so proud. I'm so proud. The budgeted amount was $5,118 with 92 cents. The actual spent amount was $4,428 with 20 cents. Very proud. Very proud. Investments. They were exact. Budgeted amount was $1,796 with 24 cents. Actual spent amount was $1,796.24. Now, that might increase just depending on how much we have left over. I know I could throw in more money into my investments if I wanted to. It's something that I'm gonna figure out today, so it might definitely increase. One or the other, investments or savings, will for sure increase. Savings, the budgeted amount was $100, and those $100 were supposed to go into my moving sinking fund. Now the actual amount is a little wonky because it shows you based on what I'm taking out and putting in. I did take out some money from my advanced pearl sinking fund, so that's why the actual is a little bit weird. But if we were to just focus on what I put in, for March, I did add $74.56 into my moving sinking fund. I'll put a reel up here just so that you guys can see why it was $74.56, how I got that number. I know it's like a really random number when we were aiming for 100, but like I said, I have money remaining this month, so more than likely we're going to be able to throw some money into that sinking fund. And of course, no debt because I am debt free. Let's go over my monthly financial goals. Don't go over personal budgeted amount. We did it, guys. We did it. We stayed within our means. So let's look at my personal spending. Here we are. For personal, we actually have $35.17 remaining. So the budgeted amount for myself and Dylan is always $150 a month. The actual amount that I spent for the month of March was $114.83. Dylan spent $9.88. So the difference for me remaining was $35.17. For Dylan, he had remaining $140.12. That money we do not roll over. We don't roll over pretty much. I try my best to not roll over any money unless I feel like it's going to be necessary. For the month of February coming into March, I did roll over a little over $100. I lied, not a little over, actually closer to $160 because I thought there was going to be some inconsistencies with my pay and what I needed to get done for the month of March, and that's why I rolled over that amount instead of throwing it to my savings. But usually I try not to do that. Next goal was don't go over fund budgeted amount. I don't think we went over. I really don't. Nope. And we have a lot left over. Okay, so the budgeted amount for our fund subcategory was $150. The actual amount spent was $15.16. The difference was $134.84. And those $15 were on a wannabe squishmallow. I think it's called like a snackable or something. It was like, it's a really cute Maruchan. I think that's what it was for. Let me go back. Yeah, I checked back on the transactions and it was for that like cute little, I'll put a video here. I think I posted it the last time, but it's super cute. I really loved it. So I just went ahead and I added it in our fun category. We are gonna give ourselves that goal because we did not go over. Third goal, don't go over groceries budgeted amount. I am 100% sure we did not because I have been keeping track of our groceries to a T because I wanted to make sure we stayed within our means, maybe even lower. Groceries, we budgeted $600 and the actual spent was $556.07. So we did have a difference of $43.93 left to spend for the month of March. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of that because I've actually had to increase my groceries budget 2 times already, but I'm still very thankful that it's not to where it would be if we were still living in Hawaii. I know like if we were living in Hawaii, we would probably be spending close to $900 a month. Although food is imported over there, so it's definitely way more expensive. A pound of tomatoes here, I can find it at a like Hispanic grocery store. Pound of tomatoes, I think last time it was like on a special deal for not even $1. I want to say like 98 cents a pound. A pound of tomatoes, Roma tomatoes in Hawaii, when we were living there, it was $4.99 a pound. $4.99 a pound. It was insane. So really proud of us. Happy that we stayed within our means. I'm gonna give myself that goal. Fourth goal, invest $300 to IRA, and we did that. We were able to invest $300. There it is. So budgeted amount was $300 and we invested $300. So perfect. Let's give ourselves that goal. All right, now the last goal, goal number 5, make $100 more, not considered corp income. I wanna say no. So let's do some math. We unfortunately did not meet this goal. The most I got to was $40.68, 30 of that being online selling on Facebook Marketplace, and then $10.68 being credit card rewards, cash outs and credit card rewards. So unfortunately, I can't give myself that goal. I'm gonna go ahead and strike that through. But overall, completing 4 out of 5 goals, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm really proud of us. We did a great job with our spending, and I hope we can continue that on in April. The wealth affirmations that I picked for the month of March were: money flows to me, I feel financially secure. I feel like I want to say that this month money really didn't flow to me, but I feel like I can't say that since I did make at least 2 sales on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know, I'm kind of in the in-between. So I'm just gonna say, sure. Money flowed to me during March. A little bit of money, $40. I feel financially secure. I always feel financially secure. Especially this month, I felt extremely financially secure. And honestly, I've come a very long way, at least in comparison to when I was much younger. When I was 18, I got my first credit card. For many years, I was really bad with money. Compared to now and where I am at with money, how much I know about finance, how I know to actually invest, and how to just be responsible and financially literate. I definitely feel financially secure. I don't think I've had a month in quite some time where I didn't feel that way. I think that my thought process of money definitely made a quick change when I got a little bit more serious within my relationship with Dylan. That's also when I learned about Dave Ramsey. I don't follow his teachings anymore. I think he's a great start for people who are just getting into money, but even then I would tell people to be careful because he's very old-fashioned and he's out of touch. In reality, he's out of touch with our modern day finances. If I could go back in time and hoped to see a specific role model when I started getting into Dave Ramsey, I think I would have preferred people like Caleb Hammer, maybe even a little bit of Graham Stephan. I would kind of say, just because I feel like his content has changed a lot. The Budget Mom, I really love The Budget Mom, but definitely Caleb. He's spot on to what I feel modern day generations should be watching to understand money a lot better. I think it's a big deal to be able to apply this affirmation to my life and just be able to say those words and actually feel that feeling. Sorry, got on a tangent right there, but I think it's important for me to be honest and transparent about how I look and feel about money. Now let's go into my individual categories and look at my subcategories. We're spot on with investments. We're doing really great. I'm really proud of ourselves. We were able to stay right on it. Majority of these investments are pre-taxes, and then of course my Roth IRA is post-taxes. Savings, not quite there yet, but I know we will get there, especially with just knowing that I have money remaining. Bills, pretty good actually. Oh, and you know what? Let's go over the budgeted amounts for bills. The budgeted amount for my bills was $2,850 with 47 cents. And then the actual amount spent was $2,851 with 37 cents. So it was just over a tiny bit. I did notice that one of my subscriptions was different. So here, my Apple storage, it was $10.46, but I ended up paying $9.99. And I think it's because I was getting charged a little bit more than I should have because of taxes. It was still thinking that I was living in Hawaii because of the address that I had on my iCloud. So once I changed it, it wasn't adding taxes anymore. So I was losing a couple of cents there, but what can you do? Our electricity bill was a lot lower this month compared to last, and next month we are anticipating it being even lower, which is really great. Phone bill, I switched my carrier, guys. I have a much cheaper phone bill and I am very happy. I'm no longer with Verizon. They were raising their prices per phone, so they were gonna raise up my prices to like a little over $20 with taxes, and we just can't have that. So I am with a new carrier and I'm paying recently I paid for 3 months because they were having a special promotion, and then once those 3 months are over, I'm gonna pay for the full year. So I might start a new sinking fund for that. I do expect it to be so much cheaper though. I'm saving about $700 with this new carrier, which is great. To save that amount of money every year, it's a big deal. Let's go into my housing category. We did go over budget in one of the subcategories. So for household items, we had a budget amount of $0. The actual amount was $0, so we stayed within our means there. Toiletries, budget amount was $100. Actual amount was $119 with 66 cents. So did go over $19.66. And I'm not quite done with my toiletries shopping. I am running very low on detergent, so I do need to buy some detergent. I think that's it though. I really do think that's it for next month. I think I can go back actually to $50. I don't think I'll have to do $100 because detergent's not that expensive, but I am thinking about doing a more earthly friendly detergents. I've been slowly switching over to plastic free toiletries, so like cleaning solutions, bathroom cleaning supplies, and I want to do the same with detergent, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of research on that. Transportation is our next category. I love to see the green. We want to definitely see the green. So for transportation, we had 2 subcategories, one of them being gas. So for gas, our budget amount was $80, and then our actual spent amount was $15.22. The difference was $64.78 that we had left over. I did go to California, but that amount that we spent on gas for the trip to California, I added it to our travel subcategory, and that'll come a little bit later in this video. This is the actual amount had I not gone to California, $15.22. That's because I work from home, so we don't have a big need for car usage. Our expenses, $60, and I didn't spend anything. I was supposed to get a car wash and I forgot. I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot. And really, it's just one of those car washes where you drive through. I'll usually do 2 rounds of those and then I'll vacuum the car myself, and I just forgot. I might actually increase that from $60 to a little bit higher for next month, so I can just hire somebody to wash my car for me. I haven't done that in a long time, but I'm really considering that. Groceries and eating out. For groceries, like I mentioned earlier, we met our goal. We stayed within our means. Budget amount was $600. Actual amount was $556 with 7 cents. The difference that we have left over to spend was $43.93. Eating out, $125 budgeted, and we only spent $39.28. The difference we had remaining to spend was $85.72. We don't really eat out a lot because, one, it's very difficult since Dylan is on carnivore. He only eats meat and that's it. No carbs, just meat. And 2, it's just really expensive. Really, it's really expensive to eat out now. Really, the only times that we eat out is when we travel or when I eat out with friends, which is very rare. Next category is personal, pets, health, and fitness. We're only in the red for our cat. So for personal, we budgeted $150 for both Dylan and I, and we definitely stayed within our means. My actual spent amount was $114 with 83 cents. Dylan's was $9.88. So my difference remaining for me to be able to spend was $35.17. His difference was $140 with 12 cents. For cat, I budgeted $116 and the actual spent amount was $121 with 96 cents, with a difference of $5.96 in the negative. I think going into April, I should be okay to not go over budget for our cats. Honestly, the main reason why I went over budget, and that actually shouldn't have happened, was because I forgot to skip one of our litter subscriptions for this month. We still have litter remaining, and I could have skipped it and just waited for the next delivery, which would have fallen into April. So that was an oopsie on my part. I did buy them probiotics, and I knew that was going to be an expense this month. So I knew I was going to be right on budget. I didn't think I was going to go over, but because of the litter, I did. For beauty, my budgeted amount was $75. Actual spent was $69.50. Remaining was $5.50 left to spend. And that was a perfume and I think a little bit of makeup. So I knew I was going to use majority of the $75 because I needed to restock on the perfume. I was completely out and I needed to restock on a specific makeup. Fun and travel. So for fun, the budget amount was $150, which is a little bit higher than I would normally budget because I thought I was going to be going to a pool party and I was going to have a brunch with my friends, but the pool party didn't end up happening because it's been really cold here in Vegas and the brunch fell during the same time frame that I was going to California. We only ended up spending $15.16 with a difference of $134 with 84 cents remaining to spend. Travel. For travel, $100 was budgeted and we spent $87.07 with a difference left over of $12.93 left to spend. The $87.07 was completely gas. That's how much it takes for us to go to California and then come back home. Some people tell me you should just get a flight, but it's just nice to be able to have your car with you so you don't have to depend on other people to drive you around. And then usually Dylan tends to do things with his family. I tend to do things with my family. Sometimes we do get together and we do things together, but sometimes we do things apart. So that's another reason why we tend to not fly, and we will only fly if it's just one of us going, and a flight just makes more sense in that matter. Business expenses, we are in the red in this category as well. Canva, it's always going to be the same. Budgeted amount is $12.99, actual spent $12.99. It's a subscription. The other subcategory that we have on here is my taxes. I budgeted $50 and the actual amount was $71 with 99 cents, so I was over a difference of $21.99 in the negative, which is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I wasn't expecting to owe that much in federal tax. I knew I was gonna owe a bit, but I didn't think I was gonna owe as much as I did. So my calculations were a little bit off at the beginning of the year. Etsy, I ended up not spending anything from the budgeted amount of $10, so actual spent amount $0. I just completely forgot about my Etsy, to be honest, completely forgot. Last month I did set aside a general expense of $229 with 40 cents because I was going to be switching my carrier from Verizon to a different phone carrier, and we were within budget. We only spent $212 with 52 cents, and that is because they were having a special promotion deal, so I'm really happy about that. And the difference was $16 with 94 cents left over. Gifts and donations. So for gifts and donations, we have gifts. I budgeted $50 and the actual spent amount was $21 with 54 cents. I do have a difference of $28.46 remaining. For donations, the budgeted amount was $100. The actual spent was $50. So we had a difference remaining of $50. And our last category is other. All right, for this one and my business category, I did make some changes. So for other, originally I had, I believe, $100 for Coco, and I decided to split that for both my mom and dad and then for my dog Coco, who lives with my dad. So I ended up budgeting $50 For mom and dad, spent $31.60 and difference remaining was $18.84. The $31.60 was groceries for my mom and dad. So I just went ahead and paid for their groceries while I was there. Coco, budgeted $50. I spent $28 and that was mainly on her registration. We didn't get to do the blood work. We just ran out of time. So we're more than likely gonna do that in April. I'm gonna try to get an appointment with her vet so that she can get some blood work done since she is getting a little old and she has a lot of dandruff. So there was a difference of $22 remaining within that subcategory. Miscellaneous, if you know, you know. Miscellaneous. Budgeted amount was $10. Actual amount spent was $0, so there's $10 remaining. Miscellaneous, I always have an amount there as a just-in-case situation. I try my very best to put every single transaction in a home. Not to say that miscellaneous is not a home. It is. It's just I try my best to not use it because I want to make sure that every transaction has a place to go. And that's pretty much it for my categories. The last thing that we need to go over is my monthly money reflections. For my monthly money reflections, what went well this month? What were my money wins? What went well this month was a lot. I'm so happy. I was able to complete 4 out of 5 of my money goals. Yay! Let's put like a little star. I'm so proud. So proud. I'm really proud of that. It was much needed. What else went well this month? I feel like there was so much more that went well. I'm really proud that we stayed within our grocery budget and especially our personal budget. So I'm really proud we stayed within our means for groceries, personal, and fun spending. What didn't go well this month? What didn't go well this month? I don't know. I feel like everything went well, and where we went over, it was really just because I forgot to cancel something. And I mean, I just forgot about one more toiletry item. Actually 2, because I still need detergent. I guess what didn't go well is that I did forget specific important actions for the month, like washing my car, working on my Etsy. I guess I could add that. I forgot to get a car wash and work on my financial Etsy shop. My financial Etsy shop will be linked down below, by the way. I will be making the budget spreadsheet that I have free for a short amount of time because I'm going to be revamping it, and I feel like it's really unfair to sell it while I'm revamping it. So it'll be free. Please go down below if you want to use a beginner friendly budget tracker, and please give me feedback on what I can do to make it better. It is meant to be easy, by the way, just keep that in mind. It is meant to be very easy. So there is a bi-weekly tracker and a monthly tracker, and any type of feedback is very appreciated. All right, I would say that's it. That's the only thing that didn't really go well this month. It was a really good month overall. What can I improve and work on for next month? I want to save more and I want to invest a lot more. I feel like I can do it. I mean, I was able to do it this month, and next month I want to do it again if possible, because I know for May we're gonna probably spend a good amount of money because it's my birthday month. So if I got it done this month, have a good amount of money left over to throw into savings and investments, I can for sure do it next month. I just know I can. I'm gonna continue to improve and work on that for next month. Gonna take a break on that for May, and then continue it again in June, July. Might have to take a break for August because we're going to a wedding. But it's kind of like a habit, right? Saving and investing and just keeping up to date with your finances. It's a habit. It's ongoing. You always have to continue to learn, continue to practice, continue to push yourself when it comes to finances. I truly see it as a habit. I don't think I did this on my last video, but I want to do it on this video, is go over my credit cards and pay off my credit cards right now. Two of the credit cards that we mainly use are my Costco City credit card. I absolutely love that credit card, especially because we go to Costco a lot. We buy in bulk. Especially the meat. The meat quality is amazing. I love myself a really delicious ribeye. So for the Citi credit card, we have a balance of $744 with 38 cents. So we're gonna go ahead and pay that. We're gonna make a payment and we're gonna pay the credit card in full. All right, that payment is done. Citi credit card has been paid off. The next credit card that we also use a lot is Chase Freedom Unlimited credit card, and we have a balance of $196 with 90 cents. And this is also all the payments posted, so there's nothing pending. The same thing for the Citi credit card, everything was posted. I don't have my credit cards on automatic payments just because I'm really good about paying them before their due dates and because it helps with my budgeting. I know some people like to have them, and that's perfectly fine. Everything else in my life is automatic, all my bills, except for the credit cards, just because I really want to make sure those numbers match up with my 2 paychecks. Okay, credit cards are paid. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to subtract the amounts that were due in credit card, the amount that I currently have in my checking account. Currently in my checking account, I have $1,550 with 7 cents. So I'm gonna subtract the amount that I just paid, which was $196 with 90 cents, minus the amount that I paid towards Citi, which was $744 with 38 cents, and that leaves me with $608 with 79 cents. That is the amount that I can use towards my savings and investments for the month of March. I'm only gonna roll over $8.79 into next month just because it's such an odd amount and I just wanna work with $600. Looking back at my budget, we're gonna figure out where we wanna put those $600. Now we did meet my IRA goal of $300, but we are a little bit short with my goal of $100 toward my moving sinking fund. Another thing that I wanna mention is that my insurance, my car insurance went up. So I'm thinking that some of that $600 we can add towards my insurance sinking fund. I did use $64.52 for advance parole, and that was to mail out my advance parole. I just forgot that I had to pay to mail it out. I'm really silly. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna add back that money. I'm gonna add the $64.52 back into advance parole. Let's add it here in my transactions. We're gonna do it for today, 30th. And then that is gonna go straight into my advance parole. So we go to sinking funds. Here we have advance parole. The goal amount was $575. Completely forgot to account for mailing it out, but now we should be, yep, we're good on that. I do still have the withdrawal, but that's perfectly fine. We just want to make sure that the current balance is back at $575. Now we have $544 with 27 cents left to work with. We're short $25.44 for my moving sinking fund, so let's go ahead and add that amount. Now we have $518 with 83 cents left to work with. Dylan and I did do some reflecting on our moving sinking fund and how much we really feel that we're gonna need in the moving sinking fund. Originally, we were aiming at $5,000. We went down to $3,000, but we actually feel like we don't need to add that much. And we talked it over, and it should be a lot easier to move from one location in Las Vegas to another location. So we don't think we're gonna need as much because we're not gonna hire movers. We might only hire movers to do our entertainment center, and that's it. Instead of making it a goal of $3,000, I want to make it a goal of $1,500, maybe $1,800. So let's change the $3,000 to $1,800. We only need to add $413 more to reach our sinking fund goal of $1,800. And that leaves us with $105 with 83 cents. So let's input that transaction just to make sure that I'm keeping myself organized and accountable. That completes our moving sinking fund. So we have met our sinking fund goal. I did also mention that I was short a couple $100s for my insurance. So for insurance, I was expecting to pay $1,113. If anything, I was expecting it to get lower, because Dylan did turn 30. I am turning 29, and every year, the older that I get, the cheaper it gets. But I got my renewal information and it actually went up. It went up $230 with 13 cents. I'm gonna add the remaining amount that we have towards our car insurance. I'm not adding the full 230 because I'm shopping around, and I'm gonna make sure that we stay either close to the $1,113 or a little bit over. I went back to my moving sinking fund, and because it was bothering me that it was $100 over, and it was actually the left amount to save. I can literally see it right here. It says $3.13. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna subtract $3.13, and I'm gonna just separate it just to make sure it matches. Now it should be, yep, it's exact, 1,800. Okay, then the remaining that I have is $205 with 83 cents. I'm still gonna only add 105 of that to my car insurance, and then we'll be left over with $100. Like I said, I wanna shop around and try to stay as close as to 1,113 for my car insurance. I do not want to make sure I do not go over 105 because that's just ridiculous. I called them and they told me that it was because of inflation. Great, using inflation for absolutely every excuse possible to increase prices. So now I have $100.83 remaining, and we're gonna throw that into investments, and I'm gonna throw it into our IRA. So $100.83 will be going to our IRA contribution. And I'm gonna make the contribution right now as well. So if we go back to our March budget overview, our investments are now a little higher. Our actual changed from $1,796 with 24 cents to $1,887 with 7 cents. We'd love to see that. And I'm gonna do my IRA transaction right now. Make sure we keep ourselves accountable, guys. And I'm gonna put $100.83. I'm gonna do it for 2024. Okay, and preview. All right, and here we go. We're gonna submit that amount and we are good to go. Now the rest of the amounts that we have, so the 64 all the way to, so 507.96, I am gonna move that into my savings. And we are good to go. And then $8 with 79 cents should be what will be remaining in my checking account after Citi and Chase take out whatever I owe them. And that's it, guys. That is our March breakdown. Making sure that we also stay accountable by doing all the necessary steps we need to do, because it's one thing to input everything into a spreadsheet, an app, whatever you are using, but it's another thing to actually do the action and hold yourself accountable. Yeah, we're good to go, and I'm good to get started on my budget for April. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and if you guys have not done so, please subscribe, like, share, whatever you can do to help support my channel. Let me know what are some things that you're proud of that you completed in the month of March. Have a good one, guys. See you guys later. Bye.